4. Everybody look down. Eliza slides the phone back into her purse and takes a deep breath. She's in it now. There will be consequences, but the solutions to those problems should be left for her future self. Right now, she has to do something about the Strangelet. Destroy it, give it to some Buddhists, whatever. And she has to do it fast. She looks at these two strangers whose house she's invaded. Clearly, the loon at the rec center had some faulty intel, but how faulty? She addresses the kid who answered the door and lays her cards on the table. I may have just committed treason, she says. I apologize if I've just dropped an atom bomb into your life, but this is bigger than any of us. She cringes at her apt metaphor. Not even hyperbole. An understatement, if anything. The red-headed guy looks at his sister in the kitchen with a mixture of confusion and excitement. Clearly a homebody who is starved for some kind of life. And that's good. She can use that. Bored people don't say no to adventure. It's a biological imperative. Probably. Is this a prank? The guy asks. She sucks in a cool breath. I hope not. She expands. I don't think so. So what is it? Lie swallows. I've stolen something of immense value and danger. Powerful people want it back, and I can't let that happen. The kid nods. I understand. Lumen is taken aback. Seriously? You don't even know what I'm talking about. His sister offers an explanation. Errol is not a sane person, she says. You should be worried, not relieved. Eliza takes note of that, but doesn't let it influence her attitude. I don't exactly feel sane right now either, she says. Why do you say that? Asks Errol. He wears the resentment brought on by his sister's comment on his face clear as day. I spoke to a man from the future yesterday, she says plainly. She hadn't consciously put the pieces together until she said it out loud, but it's obvious that was the case. Really? Errol's eyes widen. Eliza's shoulders relax. Gullibility will be useful as well. I believe so. She heads back for the door. This will all go much more smoothly if I just show you the Strangelet. They all sit around the dining room table with the canister perched in the middle like some kind of dark idol. Their faces are cast in the ill glow coming from the jittering blob of strange hydrogen suspended in his side. Strange matter, Errol whispers. He looks at the doctor. This thing could destroy the planet? In a matter of seconds, she affirms. Incredible. It looks like God's booger, says Pat. Her particular flavor of unfazedness is harder to reconcile than that of her brother, but her observation is apt. Eliza nods. If there is a God, then this thing might be his only mistake. They sit with that for a moment. So, says Errol at last, what do you need us for? Eliza shakes her head. I truly don't know. The man from the future told you to come here. Yes, he called you Syntyche's kids. Who the hell is Syntyche? I was hoping you would tell me. An ancestor, presumably? That's tough, says Pat, considering we're not related. I thought you were siblings. Step-siblings. I see. Errol furrows his brow and stares into the demonic glow of the canister. Eliza feels her gut twisting, like those radiated and reflected photons spreading over his face might be depositing the Strangelet's poison somehow. She opens her mouth, but he speaks first. I think I'm descended from Zeta Reticulans, he says. He looks at the two women with a cool seriousness. They stare back at him for a few seconds, then Patricia bursts into honking laughter. Shut the fuck up, Harry. I'm serious. Eliza is confused. What's a Zeta Reticulan? Take me to your leader, Pat beeps. You mean gray aliens, Lai says. The ones made up by Southwesterners to drive up tourism? They're not made up, says Errol, and they're much older than the American Southwest. I'm actually not familiar with the phenomenon, Dr. Lumen admits. She finds her own eyes captivated by God's booger, too. Maybe Syntyche is one of these Zeta Reticulans. Errol claps loudly, hurting her ears. Of course! You're serious? Pat scoffs. As I said, Lumen shrugs. Yesterday I met a time traveler. It all makes sense now, Errol says, mostly to himself. He detaches himself from the powwow and strides off down a side hall. He returns about a minute later with a cardboard box. What's that? My mom's things. He sets the box on the table. Eliza scoots the canister out of the way. Clues? Clues, he nods. They take some time to dig through the miscellanea. The off-bickering council of perspectives that runs Eliza's head has granted emergency powers to the problem-solving circuits of her mind. There are still those conservative thoughts that try to hinder the progression of this descent into absurdity, but she dismisses them. There's currently a problem, and it must be addressed. The contents of the box are nothing special. Eliza is peripherally glad that she never had any children, lest her entire existence be reduced to a measly collection of papers and baubles such as this. The Ritter boy says there are legal documents in another box, but he doesn't know where it is. Birth records would be helpful, given their limited data set, but Eliza suspects that they may not have the luxury of searching for this second box. The mementos will have to do. After about 20 minutes of dryly scraping through the uninteresting life of this dead woman, Errol finds something. How do you spell syntyche, he asks. Eliza doesn't know. It sounds Greek. S-Y-N... Got it. He hands her an old, yellowed letter addressed from Mrs. Ritter's mother. Eliza skims past the context to a place where the name is written. Like when my mother used to threaten us with tales of Granny Sin up at the cabin. There are no other mentions of Granny Sin, or any details concerning said tales of the mysterious figure. Eliza sets the paper down. Are there any other letters like this? None that mention Granny Sin. Are you familiar with the character? Lumen pries. Bedtime stories, anything like that? Errol stares off into the depths of time in search of something, but slowly shakes his head. My mom died pretty young. I don't really even remember what she looked like. Eliza notices in that moment how large Errol's eyes are. It's subtle, but he has a big head, too, in more than just a pejorative sense. She files that information away. What about the cabin, she asks. He nods. Yeah, we inherited a cabin from my grandparents. I haven't been up there in years. Pat, having been doing very little to suppress her frequent but silent yawns up to that point, shudders. I hate that place. Eliza decides to pursue the weak connection she sees in that statement. Why? Is there a history of UFO activity there by any chance? Pat makes a face like Lumen just fed her a lemon-flavored turd. Aren't you supposed to be some kind of doctor? Please don't feed into Aries' delusions. He'll never shut up. I have more pressing concerns than how annoyed you are with your brother's... She catches herself before accidentally flashing her cards. Unorthodox beliefs. Pat just hates nature, Errol answers the question. I spent half my childhood hunting ghosts and aliens in those woods. There's nothing. And yet you still have faith. I have evidence. Anecdotal. Yes, technically. Eliza nods before her new pet is able to overanalyze himself. I'll be interested to hear about it on our way there. Excuse me? Patricia sits back in her chair. We don't even know who you are, lady. Now you're trying to kidnap my brother? The glowing canister is lying on his side among the piles of papers. Eliza points to it. Do you know what that is? God's booger? No. That is matter whose down quarks have all been replaced by strange quarks. It is more stable than regular matter. Do you know what that means? The girl stares at her with glassy eyes the size of planets. It means that normal matter is unstable, it just doesn't know it. Until it looks down, Errol muses. What? Like a cartoon character who's run out over a cliff. They don't fall until they look down. Exactly, says Eliza. She has to suppress the strong urge to explain it more accurately in terms of energy levels and graphs. She points to God's booger. That is the bottom of the canyon. I don't get it, Pat asserts. Imagine if atoms could become zombies, Errol tries. That's patient zero. Pat's enormous glassy eyes widen to nearly double their size. Oh. Eliza massages her temples, remembering now why she generally avoids interacting with the common folk. And thanks to limited intel, we have no choice but to go to your family cabin. We? Pat scoffs. I'm staying right here. Eliza decides it's time to level with them both. People are going to be coming searching for this thing soon, she says. They're probably already on their way. Are you serious? Errol seems excited in the wrong direction by this prospect. You mean like the men in black? Yes, says Dr. Lumen. It's technically true. They may very well be wearing black suits. Well, what are we waiting for? Errol gets up and starts grabbing stuff he thinks he'll need. Eliza turns to look at the sister. Pat regards the doctor with stormy eyes, very clearly praying to the eldritch gods for the woman's eventual demise. Lumen worries that something out there in the uncaring cosmos might be very well getting ready to grant that wish. I'll make it up to you somehow, says Lai, assuming that saving the world isn't compensation enough for your troubles. Patricia does not respond, instead getting up to follow her brother around the house in search of supplies. It's then when the knock comes at the door.